Hello, everybody, and welcome to this elimination race here on the Checkered Past and Present YouTube page. It is going to be a really, really good one here tonight. Obviously, again, round of 12, really the round of 10, and we're going to be going to the round of 8. So again, very exciting race going on here tonight at the last great Coliseum here on the Checkered Past and Present YouTube page. Again, coming into tonight, we obviously want to take some time here as we start our broadcast. And again, tonight's race is actually going to be in honor of TCR Rickster, who actually passed away earlier this week. Rick was a longtime member of TCR where he drove the 24 and the 31 car. His mission and his life was taking care of his family. And again, if you would like to support his family in any way, you can Venmo at Crazy Legs Sambo, Sambo, on Cash App. So again, we just wanted to take a moment and take a moment to send our condolences to the family there. And again, tonight's broadcast is obviously dedicated in memory of TCR Rickster. So again, here at Bristol tonight, it's going to be a really, really good one. A lot of guys kind of dancing around that cutoff line. Nesta sitting in that 8th position. It's going to be the top 8 to transfer. Obviously, Loaderman, who won last week in Michigan. If you're just joining us here, this is our second week of broadcasting here on the Checkered Past and Present YouTube page. So, again, Loaderman won last week, won stage 1, and he's going to be started on the pole again here tonight as we are underway here at the last great Coliseum. If you're new to the Checkered Past and Present in the Green Flag Racing League, 50%, so 250 laps here tonight. And honestly, we really expect Loaderman to dominate a good portion of those laps. He led over half the race last week. And again, just in dominating fashion in that 48 car. We got to talk to a lot of the guys coming into this weekend. He pretty much said the same things that we all heard everyone say. He is going to be the guy to beat. He's been in a lot of leagues himself. And again, he is going to be the guy to beat. Again, times 3 wear, we mentioned it, 3 stages, 250 laps. Loaderman here tonight. Again, started on the pole. Starting second here, Dunlap. Dunlap is the guy. He comes into this week plus 54 to the cut line. You don't really have to worry about Dunlap probably transferring over as long as he gets top 5, maybe even really top 7 in those first 2 stages. Dunlap should be locked in and ready to roll into the next round of playoffs. Seeing Dunlap getting up there in the wall as C-Fan is going to charge into second place. Happy in the third, and Happy actually blew a motor last week. Obviously the owner here of the Green Flag Racing League. And, well, Happy, man, he just said, I got to be committed here tonight because everybody knows, at least what everybody said in the league, there's 3 guys you're looking for. You see him running up front already. It's the 48 car, Loaderman. It's the 20 car, C-Fan. And quite frankly, it's the 4 car. Here's Happy as we ride on board with him. Happy, last week was the first race all year, and we're in race number 13 this week. So through the first 11 races, he's finished in top 10 in every single race. Last week in race number 12 was his first non-top 10. So again, Happy, really a guy looking to get back on board, is already almost 8 laps down. It will be 8 laps down as Loaderman comes back across the start-finish line. Going to have to make about 1 stop here in stage number 1. You got to remember here at Bristol now, tires are going to be a necessity for these guys, okay? So, again, your fuel range is probably going to run you from somewhere to 40 to 50 laps, depending on how well you can conserve or maybe not conserve. But how well are your tires going to hold up? I think that's really going to be our key tonight. Again, 50% is what we're running here, times 3 wear, and obviously times 3 fuel as well. As, again, just knocking these laps down early. Is already 10 laps down. Let's continue to move through the field. C-Fan's a guy we've touched on a little bit. Obviously running here, P2. C-Fan again. He is looking to get back to victory lane. And why wouldn't he be? He told us this week. He said, man, I absolutely love Bristol. He obviously is comfortable. He's about one of the only guys that we know without a shadow of doubt's locked in for the next round. Plus 69 to the cut right now is C-Fan after he won those 3 straight races, 2 of which were point races. He also won sandwiched there in the middle at WWT in the All-Star race. Again, C-Fan is a guy who's been racing online for over 5 years. He just joined the Green Flag Racing League in about the last month or so, and he's a guy who's really put on here in the Green Flag Racing League early. Again, he's won 9 out of the last 12 stages, including, again, like we said, 3 races in that span, 1 being the All-Star race. Biker, he's a guy we didn't get to touch on a lot last week, and well, again, he's a guy we want to touch on. He's 70 years old. This is his second start of the season here tonight. He finished 11th last week, just outside of that top 10. Obviously, a guy you're looking for to get himself a top 10 here this evening as well. Beasy, obviously, the co-owner here of the Checker, past and present. Everybody's going to get a top 10 here tonight. We only had 10 guys show up, so everybody will at least get a top 10 here tonight. Beasy just made it back in time to the race. He told me today I got a little bit more insight than maybe I would have got from some other guys. Beasy told me, he said, man, I think I messed my car up. He said, I just kept working on it. You see him slide up into the fence there, and he says, I got a good long run car here, but I don't quite know what I have on the short run. And as you see, kind of that front pack here, he started to move. Oh, Biker getting a little loose, got down there on the tar as he slides up into the fence. Might be a spot there for Beasy, but yeah, Beasy says got to work on that short run. Nesta, he is a guy who we really want to focus on here because he is plus 10 over the 45 car and real smooth, transferring to the next round of playoffs. Obviously looking good for him right now. He actually has passed Dunlap here and made it all the way up to P4 as he comes around this time. This will be completing lap number 19, moving to lap number 20. So, again, Nesta really liking what he's been doing. He picked up his 11th top 10 last week. And again, plus 10 over Real Smooth. It's going to be here, Real Smooth, that gets eliminated tonight. Again, 9 guys in playoff contention. We're moving on to 8 next week as we move forward here in the Green Flag Racing League. So again, 8 guys transfer and then 6. And then we'll be down to 4 our championship race at Charlotte. That'll be a traditional Charlotte, our championship race. Next week we'll be at Charlotte, but at the Roval. So make sure you join us here on the Checker Past and Present YouTube page and get to see some of those guys cut their teeth on the Roval. I know some of the guys are looking forward to it, some of them not. Everybody, really for the exception of C-Fan, was looking forward to tonight, and that includes Jay White. Jay White last week, plus 26 to the cut. He had a 7th place finish. And only 1 type 5 for him this year. I think that's the biggest thing. We were all a bit befuddled about Jay White. As you see, he's actually got damage to his nose. We don't know how he got that. But Jay White's a guy really starting to see him trying to get into his groove, and he's going to need it. He's really been consistent is the best word for him this year. 6 top 10s, obviously 7th in points. See Biker down there on the apron. He's had some issues here early. He and Jay White look like they got caught up in something here earlier, so that is something we'll have to look at as the leaders have already started to make their way, almost lapping these guys. Dark Knight, good week for him last week, got up there and competed for the win a little bit. Won 3 stages this year. He's 3rd in points and plus 50 to the cut, looking for his 2nd win of the year as he won at Darlington. Hellraiser, another guy. We saw him. We thought he would have had a chance to win the race last week. He stayed out for a while, didn't pit. You see him running here in 6th tonight, and he finally actually said he made 1 more pit stop than he would have had to have made, but either way, still made that extra pit stop and ended up, again, finishing in at night. So still got the top 10 last week in a field of 12. Looking back here to the front of the pack, Happy, looking like he's trying to work on C-Fan. Loaderman has led every single lap here tonight as Biker looks like he's gotten stopped down there on the apron. Let's take a look at him here. See if he can get it back fired up. Everybody's still rolling. Obviously, with the pack all dispersed out, as Biker is able to get it back rolling. Pack all dispersed out here. Again, I know we only have 10 cars running in the race, but that 19 car looks like he's going to have to take it down pit road here. It's already the second incident he's got into tonight, and again, not a good start for him, as we're also starting to see guys start to pit. The 5 car of Beezy Booth is going to come down pit road. Now, that 5 car, tell you what, man, he has made himself acquainted here in the Green Flag Racing League of being a guy. He's going to pit, man, and he's going to try to get out in front of these guys and again try to short pit. That's really what the name of the game has been for him thus far. As we'll follow him off the pit road. He short pitted their stage 1, stage 2, and stage 3 last week in Las Vegas. As you see him coming off, we'll take a look out now through the rest of the pack and see if anybody else is going to follow suit there with Beezy and try to short pit here. Again, Nesta still riding in P4 as he comes around this time. Be 29 to go, and looks like he would be pushing it if he tried to go the distance here with fuel. Again, there is one mandatory stop here in stage number 1 regardless, but just for the sake of the matter, if he did want to push it, he would maybe be just a bit short. And just to give an idea for lap times, I know you guys are probably wondering at home lap time-wise, what are we thinking here? Guys, qualifying times around 15.1, 15.2. That was about the majority of the field. A couple 15.3 sprinkled in there. Nesta with the tire fall off, about 30, 35 laps on these tires right now. He's running about a 16 flat. He's running about a 16.08, 16.09 in about the past 5 to 10 laps here. We've been able to pull him up and watch him here on his stream. So again, Nesta, he's still running pretty consistent laps. Let's move up and actually look at Happy here. Happy was able to complete that pass on C-Fan, and he has now moved into second place. They caught some lap traffic there, and again, Happy's a guy, man. He probably would have had something for Loaderman last week. A lot of the guys said that. This Loaderman, even himself, he said, listen, you know, I get too much slacking from these guys. He said, they talk about how good I am, but, you know, Happy would have been a guy to have something for me last week. I don't know if you guys stuck around and heard our post-race chatter with these guys, but Happy was very, not so much happy, if you will, about his engine blowing up, or at least the excuse he made. It ended up lagging out on us last week. We give Happy a hard time. But, yeah, he is always tough when we come here to Bristol. Let's go back to the 22 car of Nesta. Nesta bringing it down pit road. We noticed him again. Kind of had been looking, maybe some tire fall off for him early. And again, he's been running in fourth this whole first 30, 35 laps here. He's going to go down pit road, maybe try to flip the stage here on some of these other guys. Again, let's look back at the front here of Loaderman and Happy. Happy starting to run him down as this time at the line, it'll be 21 laps to go. 21 laps to go in the stage. As hard as these front two have been running, they will have to pit anyway. Again, that one mandatory stop, it's just when you decide that you want to go do it. Again, doesn't matter when you go do it. You can honestly run 5 laps and go pit. I wouldn't suggest you do that, and neither would probably the rest of these guys, but you just have to make one mandatory pit stop. We talked about C-Fan earlier. He ran into some traffic issues there early on. He and Happy were battling early and ended up running into those traffic issues. He's on pit road. We'll take a look at the 8 car now of Dark Knight. He just got back out on the track with his mandatory pit stop. So it seems like guys are starting to show their cards, and other guys are starting to follow suit here. In the 48 car, he has led flag to present to this point. As let's take a look. And now the 4 car, Happy, he's going to drop down off the track. This will be a guy now. We're going to ride along with Happy, see how his pit crew is able to get the job done here. As we'll crank it up for just a moment here on the Green Flag Racing League. Oh, Happy bangs the inside wall coming out of pit lane. Interestingly enough, Happy was not in there that long. Obviously, from this broadcast view, not able to see his physical pit crew there. Didn't stay on pit road that long. We talked about guys starting to pit here early. We got an interesting battle back to the front. Dark Knight starting to trek down the 48 car. Again, the 8 car here, Dark Knight, has pitted. The 48 has not. So again, these new tires here, Dark Knight just trying to unlap himself. Currently running in the 9th position. Obviously, you would assume that the 48 car is going to let him go, and he does. So how long will Loaderman stay out here? He's obviously going to be our guy to watch right now. Beasy running in 6th, Dunlap running in 7th, Dark Knight in 8th now, Jay White in 9th, and Biker, as we mentioned earlier, is having a lot of troubles. He is running in 10th. The lead of the race is Loaderman, Happy running 2nd, C-Fan in 3rd, Nesta still cuddled in there in P4, and Beasy, since we last updated you of the scoreboard, has made a pass for 5th. So again, riding with Loaderman here. We're going to continue to look at what he's got going on because, again, still has not pitted. He's got a lot of guys behind the 8 ball right now. But on the flip side of that, right, there's a lot of guys making up time on him on fresh tires right now. So, again, just something to keep in mind. Guys are really making up a lot of time on Loaderman right now. And we mentioned Happy earlier. Happy trying to flip the stage here. Looked like he only took 2 tires or maybe no tires there. 48 car thought about going down. A C-Fan going to get one of his laps back. 48 car, again, getting near 10 to go here in the stage. As Biker, you see the 19 car coming off pit road. Got involved in an incident with Jay White early on here in stage number 1. So currently about 11 laps to go. It'll be 11 to go. Or excuse me, 12 to go at the line here, and Loaderman is going to come in and pit. So, this is where we see how things start to play out, ladies and gentlemen, because with Loaderman staying out as long as he did, guys were able to make up some time on him. How much time? Just to give you some reference here, Loaderman was running about 16.4, 16.5s there at the end of the run. Nesta, who we've been able to ride on board here this whole time, he's running about 15.6, 15.7 right now. You see Loaderman just go in, just get enough gas now to finish off the run. So he's going to come back out, still in the lead here. Happy did the same thing. So now the biggest thing is we're looking for how far is that 4 car behind the 48. You see that white dot? I'm sure we'll see it here down the straightaway. Let's see if we can get a better look at it. About a half a straightaway lead, it seems like, that we have here. Dark Knight, though, making a pass as he's still trying to unlap himself as he's still in 8th position. So Loaderman, again, looking at Loaderman here. He's leading us here as we get down to the end of the race in stage number 1. Does Happy have anything for him? Again, riding on board now with Happy. You see up there at the top left of your screen, that is Loaderman. Happy's running in 2nd now. Not a lot of tire fall off here is really what we've seen. The guys who went and got tires, maybe this is a very unusual Bristol race, much different than what we've seen in real life a couple weeks ago. Guys that went down and got those 4 tires, man, there has just been no tire fall off here. 0 tire fall off. It's coming to the line this time. As you see Loaderman, let's go ride back on board with him. Loaderman just came to 3 to go here in stage number 1. 3 to go for Loaderman here in stage number 1. Coming through this time will be 2 to go as he comes out of turn number 4. Loaderman, who won stage 1 last week, also won the race. Did not win stage number 2. That went to the 20 car of C-Fan, as you see there. C-Fan been able to drive back to the front. As this will be 1 to go. 1 to go here for Loaderman here in stage number 1. Again, a man who has absolutely dominated here. C-Fan's starting to run him down. Don't know if the 20 car is going to be able to get under him for the stage win or not. And looks like they come to the line in a drag race, but not to be. So Loaderman wins stage 1 yet again. What a clinic he has put on here. As C-Fan was running him down, he did have those tires. So that is interesting to note. C-Fan went and got tires, Happy, and obviously Loaderman did not. As your stage 1 running order, Loaderman wins yet another stage. He's 3 for now 4 in stages as he's ran in the Green Flag Racing League. C-Fan in second, Happy in third, Nesta in fourth, Dunlap rounding out the top 5 in stage 1, Hellraiser sixth, Beezy in seventh, Beezy the last car on the lead lap, Dark Knight 1 lap down, Jay White in ninth, 2 laps down, and then Biker in 10th, 4 laps down. So that's your top 10 Loaderman. Again, wins himself another stage. A lot of guys are probably saying it is an absolute shame that he is not competing for the playoffs. Yeah, they're not saying that at all. Loaderman, again, getting ready to start us up here in stage number 2. He and C-Fan battled it out there for the stage finish. Nesta starting there in that third position. Dunlap P4. Happy dropping back to P5 there. Again, neither Loaderman or Happy took tires there in stage number 1. So again, about 40 to 50 laps is what you're going to get on the tank of fuel here. Your game's probably going to tell you differently, but again, that fuel gauge's not going to go that long. How far are tires going to go? It's here in stage number 2. It's going to be about 59 laps. Obviously, 1 mandatory pit stop is what we will need here. Loaderman has led every single lap tonight, trying to go flag to flag currently, is the man there in the 48 car, but again, that 20 car C-Fan really kind of did, if you guys watched the Xfinity race today, did what Brennan Poole did in stage 1 of the Xfinity race. Went in, got those tires, and then we know how good of a driver C-Fan is, was able to drive back through the field, and looks to be right now the only guy that can compete with Loaderman. Now, again, that 22 car Nesta, he's been strong today. Obviously can't count out the 4 there. Happy they run top 5, and then there in P5, it's going to be Hellraiser rounding out the top 5 here at Bristol. Again, 250 laps here tonight, this being a cutoff race as we move forward to the Roval in the round of 8 next week here in the Green Flag Racing League. As always, we will be right here, 8:30 Eastern, 7:30 Central. That's what qualifying is, and then we'll be live somewhere there shortly after. Nesta and Happy make a little contact as they enter into turn number 1. Again, this is a place, I love the quote that Happy gave us earlier today as you see him and Nesta racing along here in the 22 and the 4 cars respectively. Happy said, this is a place, man, as you see these guys continue to kind of bump. You have to have the walls of integrity up. Such a hard place to continue to race and really race each other clean, he said. And you know, this is something obviously we pride ourselves on. Happy is a guy who's been in a lot of leagues where guys don't race clean, as have a lot of these guys. So I think about our average experience in the field of racing online is about anywhere from 3 to 5 years of experience. Most guys have raced at least going back to NASCAR 84, if not beyond that. Beezy's only raced online for about the past year, and I think he's one of the few guys that is maybe considered still a quote-unquote rookie here when it comes to online racing. But when you look at Nesta, you look at Happy, you look at a lot of these other guys, a lot of these guys have been racing for decades and decades online, and Happy says this is a place where you come to, you don't want to wreck your friend, right? It's kind of a lot like in real life that way. You don't want to wreck your friend, but when it gets down to it, you might end up having to, and we might end up seeing that here a couple of times here tonight. You saw Happy didn't necessarily do anything dirty in my eyes, but did have to beat and bang on Nesta a little bit to get around him, and especially with these next-gen cars, it is so hard to pass with the even level of horsepower that you have going around here on the track. And again, it's such a hard place to pass. Obviously, custom setup, some guys are going to get it right, and some guys are going to get it wrong, but again, a hard place to pass nonetheless. 45 to go in stage number 2 at the line. Jay White, want to talk about him for a few more moments here again. Kind of got a raw deal there in stage number 1, where like he and Biker got tangled up in something. They were both able to keep the wheels on it and keep it going straight, but it seems like that damage has really, I don't want to say ruined their nights, because nobody's nights are really ruined anymore with the stages, but has really set him behind the 8 balls. He currently sits in 10th. Dark Knight and Beezy now racing for position. As you see, going to be racing for 7th place. What these two guys are going to be racing for. Again, Dark Knight showing a lot of speed. Beezy, like he's told us earlier before the race, man, Bristol, one of his favorite places to come, but just doesn't have the speed he felt like in the short run, and right now that's obviously showing. Riding on board here with the 24 car, he and Dunlap racing for 5th. Dunlap in 5th right now, and then continuing to move back to the front. The 48 and the 20 cars, again, racing right near each other. That's been a familiar sight. Nobody really able to compete with C-Fan when he first joined the league, and then Loderman said, let me come on in and stay a while. As he's, again, able to win last week. C-Fan stole stage 2 from him at Vegas. Loderman won stage 1, won the race, and has won stage 1 here tonight. Loderman 2 for 2 in poles as well. And, you know, Loderman actually told us, he said he's looking at Nesta happy to be the guys that are going to be really, really fast this week, but he might have overlooked C-Fan, and I don't think anybody else in the field did either. Again, he hates Bristol, by the way. You're looking at a guy who has led every single lap here tonight that told us, I hate Bristol. I hate it. He said, I don't like it to go there. It's not a place I enjoy running at, and I don't know why. I mean, if you're able to dominate flag to flag, I don't know why you would hate it, but the 48 car of Loderman does not like it. We'll be calling his name here tonight, or we'll be calling somebody else. 24 car Hellraiser down there on the apron. Getting down to pit road is happy. Obviously, just took gas there in stage number 1. Came in second, left second in stage 1, but ended up finishing third in the stage. That's because of the hard-charging C-Fan. So, again, kind of looking at the discrepancies of what guys are going to do. We're going to go with tires or no tires here. It's going to be an interesting look. About 35 laps to go here in stage number 1. As let's take a ride on board with C-Fan as he's staring at that big Ally bumper, and let's crank it up here. The Green Flag Racing League on the Checker Past and Present YouTube page. Loderman not going to go flag to flag here tonight as he chooses to concede the lead and come down to pit road. As let's go look on board now with our new leader of Nesta. Nesta getting real loose, though, coming off of turn number 4. Maybe thinking about pitting here as, again, you come to Bristol, you start to lose those tires, especially here in these next-gen cars, ladies and gentlemen. The car's just going to continue to turn left coming off turn number 4. You've seen that wicked jerk back right there from Nesta coming off of 4 that time. He is leading these laps. He's on the lap by himself, as when he comes back around here, it will be 28 to go. However, he will be coming back around and doing so on pit road. So again, Nesta, guy a lot of people had circled here tonight as someone to watch out for. He comes down pit road. He's going to take half a can. He's going to go no tires is Nesta. A half a can of fuel, no tires. Chose not to repair the car. A 3-second pit stop from the Shell Pennzoil crew. So Nesta coming back out on the track. Will he still be in the lead? Again, was on a lap by himself. He still is in that P1 position as he's getting chased down by that 5 car and does get chased down by the 5 car of Beasy. So Beasy pitted early here. He's now gotten out front. Beasy, again, a guy not necessarily sitting on the bubble by any means in the playoffs. Plus 34 to the cut. 1 win this year. That came at Pocono. He does have a stage win as well. That was stage number 1 at Pocono. So potentially looking for his 3rd stage win of the year is the 5 car of Beasy. 25 laps to go here at the line. We saw Loderman take tires. Obviously, Loderman looking to run him down, and Loderman out under him. 48 car trying to get a lap back here. Will Loderman have enough speed to make it all the way back around? No. Again, Beasy, we noted he loves to pit early in these runs, make up time on guys in front of him. However, he's going to feel a lot of pressure out back, as obviously from Nesta and Cfan, as Loderman completed a pass, pardon me earlier, scoring was wrong. It just updated. Loderman was not indeed a lap down. He was on the lead lap, and he has retaken the lead. So Nesta, with a pretty gutsy move there of taking no tires, he's fallen back into fourth in his regular running position, though Happy running in fifth, trying to kind of run him down here as we move later into stage number 2. So your top 5 after that pick sequence is going to be Loderman, Cfan, Beasy, Nesta, and then Happy. That is your top 5 after that pit sequence there. Again, Loderman's been a guy we've discussed a lot of, not eligible for the playoffs. But wouldn't it be something if he ended up going on some kind of run here and winning all these races that playoff drivers are eligible for? Because here in the Green Flag Racing League, if you win, you're not automatically locked into the next round. So this was something that was discussed last week and actually overturned as Loderman having to slow down there. Jay White got in the wall. But to get back to it, something that was discussed last week is that if you win, you are not locked into the next round of playoffs. So again, this is a bit different than what we have seen in the playoff system in real life. So again, doesn't mean that you're locked in. Obviously, puts you at a good spot, puts Cfan at a really good spot, but it doesn't make you locked in. So Loderman winning all these races doesn't necessarily penalize everybody else because, again, it's not a necessarily locked-in playoff spot to the next round, but he is coming in strong on the party here for these other now 8 playoff drivers, and again, it'll be 9 playoff drivers tonight, moves down to 8, and obviously it's between really the 45 car of Real Smooth and between the 22 of Nesta. We haven't talked about the 45 car here tonight of Real Smooth. You're probably wondering, well, Brett White out? Well, that's because the 45 car's not here. So when he was already below the cut line, Nesta was at the cut line, pretty much locking us in for round 8. So there's not going to be any kind of disparities there, ladies and gentlemen. We know who's moving on to the round of 8. And let's talk about that as we move here later and later into stage number 2. In fact, you just seen Loderman come by that time. That was taking 14 to go. 14 to go as Cfan starting to run him down. We'll keep an eye on that. Cfan, obviously one of those 8 locked into the next round, along with Happy, Beasy, Dark Knight as well, locked into the next round. Jay White, we mentioned Cfan, Nesta, Hellraiser, as well as Dunlap. Those are going to be your 8 guys locked into the next round. Twoon, a guy that ran last week, pretty much just running to get a feel for the league or running towards next season. We saw next season's schedule be released by Happy this week on all the Green Flag Racing League social media platforms as well. So make sure you go check that out, looking at the schedule towards next season. We got an intense battle here at the front. We got an intense battle for third as well. Cfan going to stick his nose under the 48 car and pull out the slide job as that was coming to 10 to go. 10 to go here at the end of stage number 2. Cfan, a guy that really trying to get back in victory lane. And boy, I tell you what, we mentioned it earlier about wins don't lock you into the next round. Well, points do, and this man is dominated, plus 69 to the cut line. And what would a win do for him here tonight? It would do a whole lot moving into the Roval, because we all know the Roval can cause a lot of chaos for these guys. No matter how many times you ran it, no matter how many practice laps, no matter if you have the best setup ever in the history of NASCAR 8.5, the Roval can cause a lot of issues for these guys. And well, obviously right now, you want to build up as many points as you can here in a 10-car field tonight. So again, Cfan is taking the lead. The only other guy to lead tonight other than Loderman, who actually led the first the first 75 laps of the race tonight, had been Nesta, and that was because of a green flag pit cycle. So now Cfan is now out front and leading the race. Coming down the back stretch here, entering turn 3. As C-Fan comes across the stripe this time, this will be completing lap number 53, so just 5 to go. 5 to go here in stage number 2. If you're just joining us, Loderman absolutely dominated stage 1, led the first half here of stage 2, had green flag pit stops in which that 48 car was able to drive back towards the front, but then the 20 car was able to do much of the same. But will lap traffic start to get in the way here, one might surmise? We go into turn 4, you see those 3 lappers up in front of C-Fan and Loderman here. As that was 3 to go. 3 to go here at the end of stage number 2. Happy just made the pass on Nesta back there for 3rd place. We'll go back there and take a look for just a moment. You see Nesta, he was running in 3rd. Happy starting to check back out. Let's take a look back here at the front, though, of C-Fan catching these lap cars. Coming to 1 to go here in the stage. Jay White pulls up. In 1 to go here in stage number 2. Now Jay White down in front of Loderman, and well, if Loderman did have anything, it looks like he's not now, as just enough to hold him up as the 20 car comes off of turn number 4, and C-Fan back to his stage winning ways as he takes stage number 2 at the last Great Coliseum. It's able to challenge that 48 car there on the last lap of stage 1, wins the stage here in stage number 2. Same top 2, but it's flipped, and we'll have your full stage results here for you momentarily. Happy comes in 3rd. Nesta in 4th there in stage number 2. Beasy with the top 5 stage finish. Thought he might have had a chance to run top 3. Ended up falling off just a little bit there, the 5th. Dark Knight the 6th. Those were the guys who finished on the lead lap there in the stage. Hellraiser finishes in 7th, a lap down. Dunlap a lap down in 8th. Jay White 5 laps down in 9th. And Biker also 5 laps down in 10th place. So that is your stage finished. C-Fan now, his 10th stage that he has won, as he has won now 10 out of the last 14 stages. And he's going to be starting here on the front row along with Happy as stage number 3 starts here at the last Great Coliseum. So again, 45 to about 50 laps of fuel is how much you're going to get. 122 laps remaining. 3 stops. This is going to be a 3-stopper here in stage number 3. And this is where things really start to get dicey. We have seen track position not mean as much tonight. Again, C-Fan, he took 4 tires when Happy and Loderman did not in stage 1. He drove back to the front. If he would have had one more lap, maybe would have had a chance to win the stage there. Loderman takes the tires, drives back towards the front, but C-Fan does too. Seems like that 48 car might have the better short-run car here tonight, ladies and gentlemen, but I don't think anybody has anything for that DeWalt Camry, that number 20 car, C-Fan, on the long runs once you get up to about 50-plus laps and you go through that green flag pit sequence here tonight. Those top 3, man, you just see them stretching away. Loderman running in 2nd in the 48 car, and then there in the 4th car, Happy. That has been the class of a field tonight, really the class of its own. Happy has got caught up in maybe some lap traffic at times tonight, got caught up from some other guys racing hard. Nesta's racing really, really hard tonight. Nesta has been running P4 the whole night. It seems like truly, if he doesn't finish in 4th place, he has about as true as a 4th place car I think that we've ever seen. And then Dark Knight obviously running behind him. Biker, we mentioned 5 laps down, he and Jay White. Beasy finishing in 5th, as we'll ride on board with him. He's currently running in 7th place here behind Dunlap there in the 66 car, and Dark Knight there in the 8 car. Again, these guys, all 4 of these, Beasy riding along with. You see the 8, the 66, and the 22 up there. 4 of the 8 who have now locked themselves into the next round. Was going to be a little bit of drama between the 22 car Nesta and the 45 of Real Smooth, unable to race here tonight. So no drama at all will be had as the round of 8 at the Roval. But there will be drama to be had next week as we head to the Charlotte Roval, 8:30 Eastern, 7:30 Central Time. here, Green Flag Racing League on the checkered past and present YouTube page. We'll continue to knock down laps here. 112 is what will be remaining here at the line. Old man Nesta, again, in a league of his own, and when I say that, he's not quite up there with the top three, but he's also a little bit better than the other 6 cars behind him. Again, really, in a peculiar, really is what I say, a peculiar position here tonight as Nesta, knowing that he needed to come in and was pretty much sitting on the brink of where he needed to run, a guy who loves Bristol. He actually, when we asked him about Bristol, he said that it's one of his favorite places because he loves racing short tracks. I mean, he's just a guy who loves short tracks. He actually missed the Michigan race 2 weeks ago, which is kind of what put him at this point deficit here. Was unable to miss. Happy 15th anniversary to him and his lovely wife, which is why he couldn't be in that race as he smacks the wall. Looks like Dunlap. Long run car starting to pay in for him. But Nesta, again, congratulations to him. We're moving on to the next round. He will get his 12th top 10 of the season. Question is, will he get his 10th top 5 of the season? Trying to get in double figures in top 5s. Happy also trying to do the same thing here tonight as well, as he and Happy, the only 2 guys that are, he and Happy, yes, the only 2 here by our stats are the only 2 guys that could get in double figures in top 5s here tonight. Again, just the level of consistency these 2 guys are showing. And, well, this 22 car, man, he's done everything but win this year. Still looking for his first win in the Green Flag Racing League, and you got to expect it's going to come here soon. Especially Nesta is a guy, if you had a clutch factor, he would be a guy. I mean, I've got to race with him before. When you get on the track and you get in those waiting moments, he is a guy you don't want to be around if you're up front, because he's going to find a way to make it happen. Not because he's a dirty driver, not because he's a guy who's going to ram you out of the way. He is just so good in those clutch moments. As we come around here, getting these guys all racing towards the back, we'll move it back towards the front. C-Fan still on point here. Again, Loderman running in second, Happy in third. These guys are like a 3-car breakaway pack you would see at a super speedway. As just continuing to chop down laps here. Just seems like they got a little bit something extra on the rest of the pack right now, and I don't think anybody else really knows what it is. As coming around this time at the flag stand, it will be 102 laps to go. And while that may seem like a lot, continuing to knock them down. Stage 1 was 62 laps, if I'm not mistaken. Stage 2, 59 laps. Seemed like we ran both of those stages in a blink of an eye. Again, just to give you an update here on lap times, guys, about 25% on their tire wear here. Getting a little bit into the run. Running about 15.9 as Nesta there in 4th. This front pack continues to stretch away from them. We'll take a look here at Happy's latest lap, as he just ran a 15.8 for Happy there in P number 3. So again, Loderman, like we mentioned, won stage 1, won the pole, but it seems like if you're able to start on the point on a restart, that is where the money's going to be won here tonight. And didn't have a late race restart last week. That is something in a lot of leagues, as many of you know. You run a lot of leagues, got wrecks late. The dominant cars, perhaps, maybe not able to fire off as well on those late race restarts. Maybe not as hungry because they have been up front all night. And somebody able to see something to capitalize on it there at the end. That just happens way, way too often in a lot of these leagues. Didn't see a late race restart last week. Perhaps may see one here just because of where we're at. Though it's only a 10-car field, and I think that has a lot to do with it. Happy getting into the quarter panel there of Loderman. And these 3 guys, man, the class of the field. And, well, when everybody asked who to look out for, it was these 3 and Nesta. And, well, unironically enough, these 3 guys and Nesta are running in the top 4. You see them? Come around that time. 95 laps to go. Still sub 16 laps for these top 3. As we'll move back and take a look here at Nesta. He's back here racing with Dunlap. That's your top 5. Dunlap here running in 5th. Happy starting to look to the inside here of Loderman. Get Happy, you'd have to think. I mean, one would just have to think, right? You created this league. This is the inaugural season of this league. There has to be a little bit more extra motivation for Happy to win this inaugural season. A guy who has been racing online for many, many years finally found a group of guys that he really enjoys being around. And you just have to think there's extra motivation for him. Again, C-Fan racing for the championship. Loderman is not. But for Happy, I think we got to give him kudos here for a second on the broadcast. Now starting our first wave of green flag pit stop. Bees already went in. Biker now going down. Happy has welcomed everybody and anybody in this league that A is a clean driver, B is going to come in here and be a respectful person, and C, I mean, you just love racing. And I think there's a lot of people on this game and on this platform who possess those things. And if you're looking for a league, you found it here. And again, Happy is happy to welcome you. Obviously, if you're a clean racer, you're a guy who is a respectful person. And again, you just love being around the guys, and you don't like drama. I think that is the issue that a lot of people have with leagues here on NASCAR Heat 5 is that they speak of. In fact, Nesta, we've spoken about that 22 car here a lot tonight. Nesta told us one of his favorite things that he actually likes about this league is that it's drama-free. Just guys that get together on Saturday nights, and it really does. I know we're at a short track here tonight. It really does have that old-school short track feel to it. As we take a look back towards the front, Dark Knight, haven't got to mention his name a whole lot here tonight, running outside the top 5 right now as Hellraiser is running in 5th. Dark Knight running in P6 position. Speaking of Hellraiser, there he is, going around Jay White, who is multi-laps down. Take a look back here at the front. Let's go on board with your race leader as we're getting towards the first green flag stop. Let's crank it up with him for a moment as you're watching the Green Flag Racing League here on the Checker Past the Present YouTube page. So during that crank it up, let's find him here on our overhead view. Loderman, you can see his car's kind of beat up. He and Happy had been going at it there for a few laps. Ended up getting a little scrappy as Happy took the position now in P2. Loderman, knowing those 3 mandatory pit stops are coming up, chose to go ahead and come down pit road and take his stop. Let's look back on board here now with Happy, now running in the P2 position. Kind of broke up the 20 car along from the rest of the pack as they come past the checkered line there, as that's going to be 79 laps to go. Still have not seen Happy nor C-Fan here at the front pit quite yet. Nesta, he's running in 3rd place. He is also not pitted yet. The 5 car there, Abizi, is 2 laps down. He has made the first of 3 pit stops. Could be a similar strategy to what we've seen last week, where these guys took those first 2 pit stops there in stage number 3, and then they just basically did a pass-through for their 3rd mandatory stop. Basically, all that they did is the 48 car on fresh tires obviously is going to be faster here than the 4. 4 actually moves up in front of it. I think that was unintentional. As looking here Just seeing a replay of it on our monitor here with Happy. Happy did indeed not realize that Loderman was taking that line and let him keep on going. So again, it just makes you wonder, when is the 20 car, the 4 car, or the 22? The guys running in the top 3, and obviously you'd have to surmise the 3 best chances to win it here tonight. One of these guys going to come down pit road. Loderman perhaps has the advantage right now, is on the fresher tire. C-Fan continuing to stay out. C-Fan crosses the flag stand here this time around. It's going to be 72 laps to go. 72 laps to go that time around. Pardon me, it'll be 72 laps to go this time around. I'm sorry. 72 laps to go this time around. Thank you for joining us here on the Checkered Past and Present YouTube channel. I know we don't have a live ticker up for you, but I have some other streams we're watching here, and obviously what you guys are getting to see is also what I'm getting to see, and we just thank you for joining us along this journey that we're on here, the Checkered Past and Present podcast. We hope you guys checked out the podcast we put out this past week. As always, a race review was put out, what we're trying to do either Sunday night or Monday afternoon, and then a history podcast later in the week. We actually uploaded our first history podcast to the page this past week, our top 10 favorite paint schemes. Again, Jonathan and I, a.k.a. Beezy. Make sure you go check that out here on this YouTube page on the Checkered Past and Present YouTube channel. Happy been able to make up about half a second since that incident with Loderman, as these guys are going to have to pit soon. They have about 5 laps of fuel left. Really been able to manage these tires. I think you got to give kudos, man, to C-Fan as well as Happy and even Nesta back there running in P3. These guys have been able to manage their tires here all the way down to the end of the fuel run. I mean, this is just something you just don't see. I mean, it doesn't happen. As our first taker here is going to be the 20 car. He's going to come down. I'd have to expect the 4 car going to follow suit here soon. Let's see where Happy is on track. Dunlap spun out as guys coming out on the pits. Obviously, that's something you want to see there for the 66 car, who's been running in the top 5 all evening. Happy, he's going to run it till it's dry here. Again, very commendable for Happy to be able to stay out this whole time. As 64 to go, whenever he crosses the flag stand here on pit road. Nesta swerving it back and forth as he gets on to the blacktop down there. You see that bright yellow 22 car in the distance. They actually ended up running out of fuel. So even with those guys running that full fuel run, being the 4 car and the 22 cars, still, and again, I know you have to make 3 mandatory stops, but still only have maybe 2 mandatory stops tonight. They can make it on 1 more stop, fuel-wise, tire-wise. Again, if you wanted to come in and not take tires next time, could you? I think that is going to be the question to be asked. We talked about C-Fan pitting early there. He has gotten quite the lead on Happy, who is now fallen back to 3rd place. Nesta's fallen back into 4th. And, well, back into that P2 position as we try to locate him on the track here is going to be Loderman. But that 20 car, man, he has gotten out and absolutely left everyone. As Happy, as everything cycled back through, able to come back out in that P2 position. Loderman really caught the raw end of that deal there between he and Happy, if you missed it. Loderman won stage 1, finished 2nd in stage 2, and then he and Happy had a little incident there where we crunked it up with C-Fan earlier. And so, kind of messed up Loderman's night, at least for right now. Go back towards the front. Happy 5 seconds behind C-Fan, who is out and pretty much leaving everybody. In 60 laps to go, under 60 laps to go. In fact, 58 to go this time for C-Fan as he goes past the flag stick. As we'll take another ride on board with him. In the aerial view this time as we crank it up here. The Green Flag Racing League elimination race here at Bristol in the first round of the playoffs here on the Checker Past and Present YouTube page. C-Fan continue to cruise along here in P1. Happy, though, running by himself with now 54, 53 to go here at the line. Happy has made up about half a second, 6/10 to be exact, since these two have come back out on track. Nesta about 2.5 seconds behind Happy there in third place. Hellraiser 11.5 seconds back from Happy there in fourth place. The Hellraiser now actually a lap down as we've been watching here. There, that 24 car. So only 3 cars on the lead lap right now. Again, that being C-Fan, Happy, and Nesta. Dark Knight runs in fifth, a lap down. Hellraiser runs in fourth, a lap down. So again, these guys, they make one more pit stop. That pit stop will be able to get them the rest of the distance. So the question is, 2 mandatory stops or 3 tonight? Because last week we had 3 mandatory stops there in stage number 3. With the way the field works out tonight, I think race control just told us it's only going to be 2 mandatory stops here in stage number 3. So if that is the case, stretching that first fuel run out as long as you could possibly go is what's looking like right now what might win C-Fan the race here. Pitting early was not the way to go here tonight. Usually it is. Usually you can turn a stage around, but again, that is just not going to be the case here tonight. Though Happy is the man on the move right now. He has gained almost a second since coming out of the pits. We're now under 50 laps to go. It'll be 47 to go officially here. 47 to go right there to see C-Fan cross the line. Speaking of Happy, let's go back and look at that 4 car. As Dark Knight going to come on pit road relatively early here. Again, the fuel run been 45 to 50 laps generally here. Some guys being able to stretch it a bit more than that. I don't think you're going to see anybody get longer than 53 to 55, especially if you're running hard like Happy is right now. Happy continues to cut down on that lead. He's gained on Nesta. Again, C-Fan, Happy, and Nesta, the only 3 cars on the lead lap right now. Let's go find that 22 car. And a guy that a lot of people said need to be on their toes here tonight. Loderman's moved back into the top 5. He's 1 lap down. Just joined us here. If you went away and you came back, Loderman won stage 1, finished second in stage 2. And you see that bump kind of on his hood. Well, he got into a bit of a kerfluffle, as they said on the race last weekend. Mr. Kevin Harvick said a kerfluffle. Got into a kerfuffle there with the 4 car, and that is what has caused that damage and ended up making him pit early, and now he has fallen a lap behind, just like almost everybody else has, except for the top 3 cars running in P2 there, being Happy right now. And Happy is now erased over a second here since they come out of the pits here on this Green Flag fuel run here in the Green Flag Racing League. And, well, a large part of that is because C-Fan has been in some lap traffic here. Again, just lap Beasy has been feeling the pressure from Hellraiser for the majority of this run. And now that 66 car, he's able to run him down Dunlap moved out of his way. Looked like Dunlap was going to pit as he just gets back on the track. Good sportsmanship there from that 66 car to move out of the way. So again, pretty much a 3-horse race as it stands right now. It's 39 laps to go. 39 laps to go. Oh, our first taker here of the top 3 is going to be the 4-car of Happy. Happy only going to take half a can of fuel. How many tires will the 4-car take here? That's going to be the question tonight. Again, we saw tire wear come into play in Stage 2, but not Stage 1. Guys are able to manage their tires. Happy officially is going to take 4 tires, only taking half a can of fuel. Happy only taking half a can of fuel here, as now he will come off pit road. And now this is where things get interesting, ladies and gentlemen. So with Happy taking that half a can of fuel, pitting before C-Fan can. Happy comes out of the pits, P5. Actually going to be 2 laps off now from C-Fan. It's now 35 laps to go. Beasy trying to race to stay on the lead lap. C-Fan going to let him go. Interesting nonetheless. Oh! Biker moves down in front of Nesta. Nesta just had to boot him out of the way. Interesting sequence of events. Biker been battling his car all night long. And Nesta, who's now running in P2, that hurt his lap time by about 1.5 seconds. The 22 car cannot be happy about that. As we'll move back towards the front here, Dunlap now taking his second pit stop here in stage number 3. C-Fan continuing to stay out. And again, this should be a surprise to no one. Happy running some seriously fast laps right now, as Nesta is going to come down pit road. See what he ends up doing here. Nesta looks like he's going to take the traditional pit stop. 2 cans of fuel and 4 tires. Not going to risk anything at all. Now C-Fan is going to come down pit road. What is going to be the movement for him? And will Happy come off pit road with the lead? We'll see what C-Fan does here, and then we're going to find that 4 car on the track. Happy's already got 1 lap back. Coming around this time, now we're looking for that 4 car up there on the racetrack. See him go by there into the corner. C-Fan now coming on. Here comes Happy. As Happy will gain position there on C-Fan. The 24 car of Hellraiser on a lap by himself right now. Happy now in P2. C-Fan in P3. Nesta's moved out to P4. So, again, the 24 car Hellraiser, this is exactly how actually things played out last week with that 24 car staying out. He stayed out for an extended period of time and ended up coming and taking his last pit stop very late in that fuel cycle. See the 4 car there? This is important for him, it seems, to get that lap back, because if he could get his lap back, then he would be on the same lap as the 24 car. And if something did end up happening here, well, obviously, you see the 24 car let the 48 and the 4 car go by there. So Happy able to unlap himself, and now the 24 car going to go down pit road. Loderman having a really, really good night until it wasn't. As Happy now move back into the lead. C-Fan, though, has already cut 0.5 second into Happy's lead here with 25 laps to go. Top 5 after the fuel run plays out. Happy leading the race. C-Fan in second, just a second back. Nesta 9 seconds back, running in third. Looks like Beasy will be running in fourth. And those are the top 4 on the lead lap Hellraiser coming out of the pits a lap down in 5th. That 20 car, man, he is on the move. Beasy seemingly has played the pit sequence correct here. He is going to go a lap down, one would surmise. But running in that 4th place position, I don't think he cares tonight. Just trying to make up points any way he can. And what about C-Fan? He is down to half a second, down to 3 car lengths as they go into turn number 3. This 20 car maybe has been saving his stuff the whole race. 21 laps to go here at the last Great Coliseum. And C-Fan isn't waiting. He's going to go ahead and make his move here in 3 and 4. Happy's going to have to race him as hard as he can as they come to 20 to go. The 20 car still looking underneath him. Happy taking the high line. They come off 2 almost door to door. The 20 car continuing to work on it. Happy slips up a little bit. Tries to gas it up before coming off the corner. Still door to door. Loderman up here, but not racing for position. This could be for the win, ladies and gentlemen. C-Fan, not quite clear. Happy continuing to battle on this high line. The 20 car now clear, and will he be able to drive away? Made up a 2.5 deficit there coming out of the pits. What a run for this 20 car. That could be the move that sets him up in a really good position here in the point standings moving in next week. Again, this is an elimination race, but where Real Smooth did not show up here tonight, well, that sets up everybody who was already in the point standing and in the playoffs to advance. There's a 20 car, and C-Fan comes off of turn 4. 16 laps to go here at the last Great Coliseum. C-Fan in first, Happy in second, Nesta almost 9 seconds, or should I say over 9 seconds back from the leader in 3rd place. Those are the only 3 cars on the lead lap. Beasy in 4th place, a lap down. Hellraiser in 5th, a lap down. Oh, Happy starting to lose a little bit more ground. Made some damage there. Got some damage, I should say, after he made contact with Jay White, who you see on the top of your screen. C-Fan has now ran away, almost has a 2.5 lead. As he comes to the line this time, 13 laps to go. His Dark Knight will be put another lap down here by C-Fan. What a performance it has been. And again, we mentioned it earlier, I don't want the broadcaster's jinx to come in. You can hear me knock on the wood here. We didn't get a late race caution last week. We haven't gotten too many of them. In fact, we only had 2 cautions the whole race last week that weren't in stage breaks. Ladies and gentlemen, we hadn't had a caution here tonight. Trends would tell us that we're going to get a caution here soon. I'm not predicting that for C-Fan's fate, but I think everybody else in the field is. As he comes into turn number 3 and out of turn 4, there'll be 10 to go. 10 to go at the line here in the Bristol night race of the Green Flag Racing League. C-Fan, this could be a dominant stretch continued. 3 straight races he won, including the first race of the playoffs 2 weeks ago at Michigan. Last week, 20 car fell just short as he's looking to get back into victory lane tonight. Again, he has finished in the top 3 in now all 4 races he has ran in, including wins at Dover in the finale of the regular season, a win at WWT that was the All-Star race, and then a win at Michigan, which opened up the playoffs. Then a top 3 finish last week at Las Vegas, and then now here tonight, trying to get back in the W column and make it 4 for 5 to start his Green Flag Racing League career. As he has stretched out this league here on Happy. You see here from Happy's view, I mean way back right now, as C-Fan has some kind of car. This time around as he enters and into turns 3 and 4. 5 to go. 5 to go for that 20 car there, C-Fan. Man who's been racing online for over 5 years. Unironically, I mean, could it get any better? Pulled for Matt Kenseth for many, many years. and now likes Christopher Bell. Talk about two hard-nosed racers and guys who could dominate when they had the right stuff, just like C-Fan has been able to do here tonight. Originally from North Carolina, now resides in Florida. This place here in Bristol, one of his favorite tracks, said he was already feeling comfy with his points lead. He's got to be cooler than the other side of the pillow right now as he's starting to rip that Larson line up top here at Bristol. 2 laps to go here at the line. Again, C-Fan now over a 3-second lead. Won stage 2. Qualified in the top 3 yet again. As he comes out of turn 4, the happiest sight he's going to see tonight is the white flag. C-Fan trying to make it 4 wins in the last 5 races. A dominant stretch that maybe, just maybe, puts him in the right seat to be at the championship race. C-Fan wins it here at Bristol. Stage 2 winner C-Fan wins the race. Happy comes in second, Nesta in third, Hellraiser in fourth, Beasy wraps out the top 5 in fifth, and then Loderman in sixth. Again, Loderman had a bit of an issue there with Happy that we obviously will have to ask Happy about here in the post-race interviews. Again, Loderman won stage 1, coming in 6th, Dark Knight in 7th, Dunlap in 8th, Jay White in 9th, and Biker in 10th. So congratulations to the 8 men who have now advanced on to the next round of the playoffs. Obviously, that bunch is going to be absolutely ecstatic because, hey, the first round of next week's race is going to be at none other than the Roval. So, again, congratulations to C-Fan, Dunlap, Dark Knight, Happy, Hellraiser, Beasy, Jay White, and Nesta for advancing on to the next round of the playoffs. Real Smooth, who is not here with us racing tonight, will unfortunately be eliminated from the playoffs. So we will talk to our top 3 here this evening. Again, so we will be talking to our third place finisher of Nesta. We will be talking to Happy, and we will be talking to, obviously, the race winner here of C-Fan. So let's see here if we can get them in and chat with them for a little bit. As waiting for everyone to join. Again, C-Fan, our race winner here tonight. Happy finishing in second, and Nesta finishing in P3, rounding out the top 5 there. Hellraiser in fourth, and Beasy in fifth. Dominating fashion, though, by those top 3 tonight as they finished on a lap by themselves. And, well, we're going to get to chat it up with them, as making sure we got everybody here in the media room. As C-Fan and Happy have joined. Nesta not quite gotten here yet, as we do want to talk to.
There he is.
I do want to talk to Nesta here first, as Nesta's now joined the party. Nesta, you got us down there in the booth.
He's got to share his voice right quick.
Yep, I'm good.
Well, Nesta, you had a really good car here tonight. It seemed like it was going to be a night for you to run P4. Then we go through that last couple pit cycles there at stage number 3, and just like you've been all year, a bit of just a consistent guy in the field, coming in and finishing third. Tell us about your race tonight.
Well, I thank Loderman because Loderman wrecked, so that gave me third place. If it wasn't from that, I wouldn't have got third place. I did have a top 5 car though. I've had a top 5 car, I think, pretty much all year. I just can't get off over that last little bump. And C-Fan and Loderman and Happy, I mean, they're not very nice. They ain't giving me no room.
Well, I think that's the biggest thing. You kind of talked to me about it earlier this week. You said, I want to get a win. And you and Happy now are the only 2 guys with double-digit top 5s in the league. What more do you think you need to get that win?
I think I just got to hammer it down. I think I just need to go balls to the wall and stop being so conservative, actually. I just got to let loose.
There you go. Nesta heading on to the Roval next week, looking pretty good in the point standings after coming in tonight on the bubble. Thank you, Nesta, and congratulations on your
Appreciate it.
third place finish. Now let's talk to the man who's over it all, happy. And our first question obviously has to be about the incident, or should I say lack thereof of an incident with Loderman. Tell us what your view was there. Obviously, you guys are all racing in the top three. Loderman had that and obviously kind of ruined his night.
Yeah, we was having a little bit of an issue with the lag spike in the game every so often, and it just so happens you have to have a big one right there. He got a lot of damage off of it, which basically took him out of contention. Other than that, I mean, him and C-Fan by far had the best car. I had a good car. I had a good race. Everybody had a good race. I'm proud of how these guys ran all of Bristol with no cautions. Um, but like I said, I had a good car. Pit road was killing me against them too. That last stop, C-Fan got like 5 seconds on me between the pit cycle.
And that's an interesting thing. I think we obviously want to note here. Last week we saw 3 mandatory stops. This week we saw 2 mandatory stops. But what was interesting there throughout, no matter what stage it was the different type of strategies. You and Loderman chose to go no tires there in stage number 1. Take me to the thought process there. And obviously you went from second to third. Is that something we may see from you moving forward, especially at a place next week like the Roval?
No, generally you wouldn't see me doing tire strategies. I'm usually the 4 tires filler up guy. Um, I knew I wasn't gonna catch them, and I knew we was only a few laps short of an actual whole run. So I tried to just take no tires and see if I could gain a little bit and just try to hold them off. And maybe if I got enough of a gap on them, they'd have to burn off their new to catch me. And obviously it didn't work out that way. So stage 2, I tried 2 tires to right sides, and that didn't. That was the same as taking no tires. So obviously stage 3, I slapped 4 on it both times.
Well, happy. Again, another happy week for you. You didn't blow an engine this week, finished P2.
Yeah,
That's going it's going to help you in the points. And then the man who's been on quite the dominant run, 4 wins in the last 5 races, has dominated the stages. C-Fan. First off, we got to ask you about that stage 1 finish because you took tires there where Happy and Loderman did not. Did you feel like how much longer did you need to win that stage?
If I had one more lap, I would have got it. I had a little issues getting around Dark Knight. He was racing me pretty hard there, which is what you're supposed to do, you know. But if I had one more lap, I think I could have got loaded there in the first stage. I mean, I was right there at his quarter. I figured somebody was going to pull some strategy because they stayed out a little bit longer than I did there. And I said, screw it, I'm going to take 4 tires in and see if I can run these boys down. And about did, so...
Yeah, and then
stage 1.
And then stage 3. Let's fast forward a little bit. Obviously, you were the dominant car after the pit cycle at the end of stage 2. Stage 3. I don't think I was alone there. I think our audience was probably in the same thought process. Happy comes off pit road a second and a half in front of you after the cycle, and then you just drove up past him at 20 to go, and then you just drove off with the win. Were you saving the whole race for that last stretch? Take us through that.
I had a little strategy in mind there. Yeah, I kind of was a little bit. I mean, it's all about having fresh tires at the end here. I mean, fresh tires key everywhere you go on this game. And I was sitting there. I was hoping Happy would pit before me to see the idea what he was going to do, and I figured it out. So after that, I was on my own little strategy, and it worked out for me. I mean. You come all the way with the win here at Bristol. It is Bristol, right? It's Bristol, baby. Yeah, I won. We're down here in Victory Lane, baby. We're going to party the rest of the evening, man. Can't wait.
Well, I know you're going to party the rest of the evening, but before you do party, next week, Roval, I know you're a big short track guy. What can we expect out of that 20 car on a right turn track?
20 car going to be up front.
I love it. All right. Well, this has been our second week of the broadcast here on the Checkered Past and Present YouTube channel here in the Green Flag Racing League. Loderman won it last week, again, a non-playoff driver. And then here a playoff driver wins it this week, C-Fan. 2 for 3 in the playoffs, 4 for 5 here in the Green Flag Racing League. He looks like the championship favorite, but I think the owner of the Green Flag Racing League there in the 4-car Happy is going to have something to say about it. Next Saturday night at the Charlotte Roval here, 8:30 Eastern, 7:30 Central Time. Make sure you join us then. I'm Brett Loftus, telling you to have a safe, happy, and healthy evening. And this has been another broadcast of the Green Flag Racing League here on the Checkered Past and Present